If you think that law of attraction will help you manifest your desired goals in life, please stop, because the thing that I'm about to show you is infinitely times more powerful in getting the results that you want from life. That was a pretty strong and quite bold of a hook, wasn't it? Good morning, my name is Sergio Valentin Radu. I am a software engineer based in Novi Sad, Serbia, on my entrepreneurial journey, here to share with you tips, productivity tools, tricks, and knowledge that I get along the way in my journey. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I want to talk about some esoteric teaching that I have come across. Something very interesting, something that I came across this week and I find extremely intriguing, and I believe it has the potential to completely change the way you see the world. So I started reading the first book of reality, Transurfing, by the Russian author Vadim Zeland. Fairly underground book, full of esoteric knowledge. The title of the book means the following things, and I'm quoting this from the internet and perhaps from the author himself. Transurfing is the art of controlling reality using your freedom of choice. People can choose any variant of the development of current reality and thereby find themselves in circumstances they find desirable. Basically about getting what you want from life. Instead of going through the entire book, I will cover the very basic fundamentals that are at the beginning of this book and I find quite interesting. And they're the core of the entire teaching from this book. And by the way, there are many books by this author. I think it's like 5 or 7 of them. Vadim was is quite a prolific author. Let's talk about the core fundamentals, which is the view that you have of the world, the view that you have of the universe. I truly believe that you act according to your beliefs, okay? If you have a belief system that is put into place and is unshakable for you, it's true, this is the reality for you, you will act accordingly. So let me ask you, how do you think the universe works? What are, in your opinion, the laws of the universe? Do you maybe believe in karma? Like you do good deeds happen to you. Conversely, you do something bad and bad things return to you. What about fate? Think about this. What is your belief about fate? Do you believe that everything is predestined by maybe divine will, fate? Do you think that everybody writes their own story? Think about it and give an answer to this. And I will tell you that whatever answer you give, congratulations, you are correct. What you said right now would surprise you, but you're right. Like, I cannot prove you wrong. Nobody can prove you wrong. So let me explain this further. Like, you might think, what the fuck am I saying right now? But this is where the teaching of the book comes in, okay? It explains that you are right, and I'm right, and everybody is right. Nobody's wrong, because there isn't only one valid interpretation of reality. Reality is multifaceted. So there isn't just one valid interpretation, and quite the opposite. There are infinite amounts of models of the universe that work, infinite amount of interpretations that are all valid in their way or another, and not a single one of them is deemed as truer or more valid than the rest. Then the books gives you a very interesting analogy, and picture this, okay? A couple of men were given the task to define what an elephant is, and they cannot see it, they can only touch it because they are blind men. One of them touches the trunk and says, elephant is something that functions like a snake. It's just true, right? They picked that particular body part and they stated something which is kind of correct. The other one touches the leg and says, oh, but the elephant functions like a post, which is kind of correct. This is what we humans do, okay? We are unable to see the world in its entirety. We're unable to form a model of a universe that is universal. And we cannot grasp all of the laws. So what do? You only take one facet of reality. Think about it, study it intensively, make a model out of it that kind of works, and then we use it so it serves as further explanations for all of that happens to us. Problem is that there are multiple models that work just as well. Just think about it, okay? I like that analogy with the blind men and the elephants. I think the author really goes the extra mile to explain all of those teachings and all of those theories, because again, it's kind of pseudoscience, right? But it goes a little bit further just to give you practical examples of it, okay? So I'm reading through the notes here so I don't lose my train of thought. As I said, there are multiple models that work just as well, okay? Can you prove somebody that their belief is wrong? Somebody believes that, their fate is predestined. They are predestined to live this normal life. And who knows, maybe they say, oh, I give up. I'm not destined to have a nice body. I'm not destined to get married. Can you prove them wrong? Can you? You cannot. Maybe you even shouldn't, because that belief that they have is tied to their ego. It's quite difficult to shatter or just try to nudge in the positive direction somebody's ego. Let me quote those 4 sentences from the book, from the author. I think that they're quite important. Reality is manifested in an infinite variety of forms. We just explained that. Variability is the world's most fundamental quality. Variability, I have here a meaning. It's the lack of consistency or fixed patterns. Liability to vary or change. Changes all the time. There are infinite amount of variables. They do not all interact at the same time. They interact with each other. Sometimes some of them have more impact on the current world than the other ones, and it's quite a mess. Very variable. Again, variability is the only fundamental truth. 3, any models of the universe represents just one manifestation of reality, because, as I said, reality is multifaceted. And the 4th sentence would be that any branch of knowledge bases itself on one chosen aspect of the manifestation of reality. So they just see one thing, they make a model around it. That's pretty much it. With all of this laid out to you, a powerful question might come to your mind. Why shouldn't you choose a model of the universe or a reality that benefits you? Think about it. If everybody's right, nobody's wrong, why shouldn't you make a model of the world that you can benefit from? That it works in your favor. You can take advantage of it and get what you want from life. Who's going to stop you? Who stopped Hitler from doing what he did? You might be a religious person like I am, and you think, think about it. God gave humans free will. Adam chose to do that, Yeah, we do have free will, even if they're in a religious sense. So we can choose whatever we want. And if you're religious, I strongly encourage you to do the right thing. But why not choose a model of life and a model of universe that will nudge you in the correct direction? And what you want to be productive, okay? I'm not just trying to explain this for the sake of knowledge. I'm trying to give practical examples in how you can have this mentality in order to achieve your dream life. That's my goal with all of these videos that I have. Let me show you what the author proposes for a model of the universe. Bear in mind, please, this is not meant to be an all-encompassing answer, which is as close to the absolute truth as possible, because we do not know the absolute truth. Who knows? Maybe there is one out there, it's out of our reach, but this is not the purpose of the book, of the writings and of the teachings. We should pick one model that works in our favor. Okay, so I do have a presentation right here with some drawings. I hope you can see the screen. First of all, it's a beige background. Imagine that the background is limitless, so it shouldn't be confined by the frames of the video, shouldn't be confined by the frames of the display. It goes infinitely up, left, right, down. It's very simple to imagine that, okay? Then we have two axes. The x-axis, the horizontal one, represents time, which goes from left to right. What is further to the left is further down the past, and what is further to the right is in the future. And you have the y-axis, the vertical one, which is the outcomes, and is basically just the outcomes. It doesn't even make sense because you have infinite amount of outcomes, but the ones that are further down doesn't mean that they are worse or better. Yeah, forget about that. Just imagine that time flows from left to right, and you have different outcomes in life. And this is your lifeline. This is your life up until this present moment. So your lifeline starts from the day you were born up until this present moment, and we're going to freeze. We're going to freeze right here and try to explain some stuff. If we zoom in, extremely and completely, we see that all of this beige space around everything is can be divided into multiple and actually an infinite number of points. Okay? Infinite amount of realities. Infinite amount of those squares that you see in here. Okay? I tried my best to do this drawing as good as possible, but yeah. This is your current point in time. This is where you are right now. And those are all realities and possible scenarios that could happen next. They are everywhere. Imagine that all of this beige space around could be divided into all of those points, all of those squares, everything. So the entire beige space in here, including your lifeline, so everything that you see in here, is called the alternative space. And I'll read this one from the notes when I was reading the book. And this is an infinite space of information of everything that there was and will be. Alternative space is everything that there was, so everything that manifested in your lifeline, everything that could have been, so everything in the past that could have been, all the possibilities out there, everything that could be in the very next moment, and of course everything that is right now when we are freezing this very moment, and everything that could be in the future. What I mean exactly by this is all of the realities, all of the possible outcomes, everything. So picture this. There was a reality in the past that hasn't manifested for you, in which you are rich, you are a millionaire, and you are enjoying your life on a yacht, sipping fine wine, with a beautiful bikini model that is head over heels for you. And that is just a reality. It's a reality, which means it's real, but just it didn't manifest. It didn't come to existence because your lifeline went this way, because something else happened. Okay? There is one other reality in the past that also didn't manifest, in which you're dead. You died because of drug overuse. Even though in the current lifeline you are vehemently opposed to taking any drugs at all, who knows? You could have gotten hooked and you could have died because of drug overdose. So everything exists out there in the past as well in the immediate future, which actually this zoomed in sector square in here is just a sector of all the most probable and immediate potential realities that could happen. I meant to mark all of those, and all of them are realities that could happen like this very next moment, or the very next moment behind that, after that moment, or the very next moment behind that second moment. Okay? So, with all of this in mind, and knowing about the alternative space, you know that there is a point on this entire graph, or there is a reality in which you have your dream life. Picture your dream life, okay? Money, enough money for you to be happy, no financial stress, a loving partner, a body that you are dreaming of, okay? Your exact dream life is out there. It's possible, and it's a reality that will be about to manifest. It's in the future. So what I like about this alternative space explanation is that it makes you relax, knowing that whenever you have a problem, the solution is out there in the alternative space. A version of you in a reality out there has already solved that problem. So relax, take a deep breath. It's not impossible. It's out there, just it hasn't manifested. And what you're doing, you're transurfing or steering your lifeline towards the dream life that you want, towards that solution, towards a point on this graph that you're very comfortable with and you are happy with, okay? So let's get back to the quadrant and zoom in again, okay? How is manifestation taking place? Okay? Material manifestation moves through time and space, while the potential alternatives remain in one place for eternity. So all of this is static, all of those realities, this reality, this reality, this reality, everything. There are infinite amount of realities. We just picked like 3 right here and all of those in this sector. So all of the realities, all of the alternative space is static. Time is static as space. The passing of time is felt when it turns like film footage. If you can recall how old film footage works, okay? You take the entire film footage, and if you take it like this and look at it, okay, you see all of the frames. This alternative space works in the same fashion. You have infinite amount of frames. You can look at all of them at once, which is kind of interesting. Okay? And again, the passing of time is felt when it turns like film footage, one frame to another. So let's get back to the present moment, okay? Let's unfreeze it. You have potential realities that are in front of you. And the lifeline works like a chain of cause and effect. Cause and effect, cause and effect. The current point, what you do in the current point is a cause and will have an effect, will lead you towards the next manifestation of reality. So this point right now, what you do right now, is going to have an effect and lead you to the next frame, to the next reality. Again, what you do then will be a cause and will have an effect leading you to the next reality and the next point and the next point. Cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. What you do right now will have an effect in the very next moment. I'm repeating myself, but let me give you a concrete example. Right now, if you decide to take your phone is in your hands. If you decide to go on Instagram, you're going on Instagram. And you could waste your time for another hour, scrolling through social media. You did it. Cause and effect, it led you to that, okay? You could decide to quit this video right now because I'm rambling too much and you think this is bullshit. You can do that. You can decide to stay until the end and hopefully everything will clarify. You can do that. Cause and effect. And now, the author gives a very important piece of information about the thought energy. Let me try to explain and read what I wrote down from the book. Thoughts not only provide motivation for human action, they have a direct influence on reality. Thought energy materializes possible realities into matter. And how I believe this is done, okay? Like you could argue there are people who can just manifest reality out of thin air, but the book says they're very rare and they do not normally advertise their qualities. But those people are, who knows? Like I never saw something like that. It's modern day magicians, modern day Jesuses. I don't know what to believe. But let's talk about the real stuff, about what's real with you and me, okay? We cannot do this. We cannot jump from this reality to this reality to this reality to this reality. We cannot do that. We have to move through time, through one reality at a time. This is why it's called Transurfing. It's a beautiful name because you surf through reality, okay? So let's take this current point in time right now, okay? We are here. We are again frozen. Let's unfreeze. You have a thought about an action that will lead you towards your dream life. So you think about it and you start to materialize the action. This is where law of attraction falls short. You cannot just think of the outcomes. Think of the actions that will bring you there. Action, and work. It materializes when you work. But first of all, you need to think about it. So think about the action that will lead you to your desired dream life, your outcome. And then you will do the action that's required. And you will move one reality closer to a dream life. And then again, you decide to do, something that will lead you closer to your reality. And again, you do that on a daily basis. What I can give you another advice is not just visualize the action that will bring you there, but visualize that you are the person that does those type of actions that lead you towards your goal, towards your desired life. Okay? So visualize and say to yourself, you can write this thing down on a daily basis. I am a hardworking person. I love waking up at 6 a.m. and working on this and that. I love working out. I'm the type of person that is super motivated. I go to the gym every single day, So you start to believe that. And it's easier for you when time comes for you to do the action. It's easier for you to do it because you have been building those beliefs about that you're the type of person that does this without any hesitation. We are extremely zoomed in here, okay? These are moments, okay? This moment leads to the next moment, to the next moment, to the next moment. But if we zoom out, look what happens to your lifeline, okay? You have the desired dream life. That's the end goal, okay? And even though it seems very far away, because this segment in here is very far from this one, and it's totally different. It's a totally different thing. Like you cannot even imagine it, but it's out there. Slowly but surely, you are transurfing from one reality to another, knowing that you're getting closer to your dream life, and finally, you get there. Congratulations. You've achieved what you wanted. I hope this makes sense. I hope this wasn't too complicated, too esoteric. I might, who knows, I might accept this as own belief. I would love to go further through with the reading of the entire book, and maybe even read all of the books. But I know very successful people that are believing this, reading this, and they bought into it, and they live and breathe the teachings from this book, and they're quite successful. We're talking about millionaires right here, and people that are manifesting exactly what they want in life. This is how you mess with the fabrics of reality, okay? And the thing is, you believe that's out there, it just hasn't manifested yet. And you're just transurfing through realities, from one reality to another, to another, to another, to another. And slowly it all materializes until you get to your desired dream life. Wish you a lot of success with the reality transurfing. Maybe read the book. That was my explanation of it, how I understood a couple things that I introduced myself according to my own understanding. And wishing you all the best, and have a productive morning. God bless.